Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Tay, and I'm here yet again with another update video. So happy Monday, you guys. Today is Monday. What is it, the 24th of May? I feel like this year is just moving so fast. It's like we're already in the middle of the year. But anyways, you guys, definitely make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. So today, of course, as usual, I'm going to update you guys on what's going on, but I kind of wanted to get caught up with you guys' questions. You've been asking me so many different questions. I know there's a lot of new subscribers here who are kind of just like peeking in and looking at one video, maybe two videos, or, you know, maybe not even the whole video, but kind of a snippet or whatever. And there's some questions in the comment section that I did want to address. Before I jump right in and start overloading you guys with information. So let's jump right into that. Other than that, in terms of emergency SNAP benefits for May, I haven't had a chance to look at it as of yet. I do plan on looking at it at some point during this video just to see if anything has changed on that front. I did want to give you guys some information regarding what's going on in California. Not really a whole lot. You guys know that our governor is currently in the midst of a recall. If everything goes the way that they want it to go, meaning they have up until June 8th for everybody who signed the petition. I know they have well over the amount of signatures that are required for recalling our governor, and they're saying that all these different efforts that he's putting out there, like the new stimulus proposal that he made where he wants to give an additional $600 to Californians, but he wants to extend the bracket to middle class people who are earning at least $75,000 and below, whereas the previous $600 stimulus, the Golden State stimulus, was only for those who made $30,000 and below and qualify for the California Earned Income Tax Credit. And he also wants to give an additional $500 if you have dependents. And it's not $500 per dependent. It's just $500. That's it. So you would get $1,100 versus getting $600 for a family that maybe doesn't have any dependents on their tax return. Okay, but they're saying that all of those efforts that he's making basically is his tactic to campaign, to keep himself out of the hot water. Now, like I said, there is a deadline. I believe it's June 8th. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. You guys know I don't really follow politics. I'm not a politician. I don't consider myself to be Democrat, Republican, or any of that. I consider myself to be an American person who is basically looking for things that are going to benefit us in America as a whole. You know what I mean? I'm not for one side or the other. I don't trust politicians, and you guys know that. But in terms of our governor, I don't necessarily feel as though he is campaigning. He could be. I mean, I know people are going to say that's exactly what it is. He could be campaigning, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Everybody is campaigning at some point or another. I feel like they're always campaigning at the White House. People just don't talk about it like that until election time comes up. But at the end of the day, everybody is making moves and making decisions and trying to get their paperwork on the desk of the president in some way, shape, or form, because it's going to benefit them specifically, not necessarily everybody around. And we've seen the proof of that, I feel like, especially now with these unemployment benefits. We know that the Republican led states are the main ones who are cutting off benefits, which, by the way, breaking into that one bit of information that I did want to give you guys, let me find that article because I found this to be quite surprising. But there is one state whose governor, I believe, is actually a Republican, but says that he's not going to end the unemployment federal boosted benefits. He's going to keep them coming until the end of September, or not the end of September, but until they cannot be given anymore, because he feels as though, wait a minute, let me see if I can, here it is right here. So it says Charlie Baker, which is the Massachusetts governor, I believe, says that he is not going to end these benefits. He says even as most Republican governors pull their states out of the federal program, Baker says there are other reasons people aren't returning to work. Unlike in many other Republican-led states, the federal government's $300 weekly boost to state unemployment benefits isn't coming to an end anytime soon in Massachusetts. The governor, Charlie Baker, pledged last Thursday that that his administration will continue to support the supplemental payments until the week ending on September 4th, when the federal pandemic-era unemployment boost is set to expire under the pandemic relief package that was passed last March. So he says, if you look at a lot of folks who lost their job and continue to be out of work over the course of the pandemic, many of them work in hospitality, service, restaurant industries, and are folks who are hardworking people. the Republican governor, said this as well. He said, noting that Massachusetts is a very high cost state and that those collecting unemployment benefits tend to be at a lower end of the wage scale. Exactly. This is what I have been saying. Those are the folks who most of all we should be worrying about continuing to support, he said. Baker's comments come as at least 21 of the country's 27 GOP governors, which basically means Republican governors, in my opinion, including neighboring New Hampshire, announced plans to opt out of the federal program. Okay, so Massachusetts, that's some good news for y'all. Your governor says, hey, he's going to keep it going until it expires, which is September 4th. So you guys don't have to worry in Massachusetts unless something has changed from last week to this week, which I doubt it. But I have been saying this from the get-go, and I really, truly hope that if our governor is recalled, like I said, there is a deadline in which people who signed the petition to have our governor recalled, they have up until this deadline to change their mind. Now, once the deadline comes and they find that they still have a significantly high amount of people that's needed to call our governor, then there's going to be another election at the end of the year. And all I can say is that for those who are running, I hope that they do have the best interest of the people at heart and really strive to work on these changes. I honestly would think that one or I don't know, anybody, I feel like somebody in the in one of these office who has one of these official seats should try to enlist the aid of someone that knows the people, if that makes any sense. I've said that before. I wouldn't necessarily say go pick a bum up off the street, but I think that it would be beneficial for them to at least have somebody that can speak, that can hold themselves in a certain manner, that can talk in front of the press and all that, to help mitigate a lot of the issues that are going to come up, as well as understand them. Someone who maybe has walked in those shoes, so to speak, because a lot of the times you have these rich and wealthy people that get these official seats. They've not gone through these situations, so there's a lot of issues that are very important and significant to the American people that don't come across the mind of these wealthy state leaders, if that makes any sense. One of the biggest things that we've been talking about as of lately on this channel is housing. They're talking about housing the homeless. Don't get me wrong. There is an overwhelming amount of homeless people in Los Angeles, California. There is just so many people that are without homes, and it is getting worse by the second. However, there are housing programs that have been in effect for years. I myself have told you guys I have been on the housing voucher program, also known as Section 8, for going on 13 years now, and I haven't gotten a call back. You know what I mean? They don't care. The people who work in those establishments don't have the sympathy or the empathy. They show up when they want to show up. Like, everything just needs to be changed around. I can't see you having a program that's in effect for so long and having people waiting on the list for 13 years. By that time, people have either fallen off the planet itself, or they have figured the situation out themselves and are now working towards owning a house, or whatever the case may be. But to me, it's kind of pointless to have a program in which people will end up sitting on a list for 13 years. That program is not running efficiently, in my opinion, if people are not getting the housing support that they need. So, it's situations like that I feel like gets looked over, you know what I mean? But let's get to these questions. Like I said, I wanted to do a couple of questions, kind of a Q&A today after reading some of you guys' comments. Where is the app? I feel like I'm going in circles. Okay. It should not be rewarded. Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, so I have one person who's asking, what is Emergency SNAP? Who can apply for it and where? So Emergency SNAP is not something that you apply for. Emergency SNAP is for people who already have EBT SNAP benefits, which is basically food stamps. So if you already are receiving food stamp benefits, and let's just say for whatever the reason, let's say that you have income from a job, or you have income from unemployment benefits, you have income from another source, and because of that income, you get less than the maximum amount. So let's just say that if you have no income coming in from nowhere as a single person, you're supposed to get $200 for food stamps. So because you do have income, they're only giving you $100 in food stamps a month. So Emergency SNAP says that doesn't matter as long as we're in the pandemic. We're going to give you that extra $100 so that you get the maximum amount, okay? That's basically what emergency SNAP is. So it's not something that you apply for. It's automatically added to your case if you're not already receiving the maximum amount, okay? I have another one that asks the same thing. I just explained that now. There is nowhere that you need to apply for it, but they ask, is this the same as pandemic EBT? No, it's not. It's not the same as pandemic EBT. So pandemic EBT is run by the United States Department of Agriculture. SNAP benefits are run usually by your Human and Health Services or Child Development Social Services Department, whatever it has, that whatever the name of it may be in your state. But pandemic EBT is run by the United States Department of Agriculture. So pandemic EBT is for children who are in school who qualify for free or reduced price lunches. So basically, if your child is in a public school, you would have had to fill out an application because it does cost for the school to provide them breakfast and lunch. Now, based off of your income and other factors, you would have either received your child's school meals completely free or at a reduced rate. So if you have one of those applications on file and you qualify for either free or a reduced price, then you will qualify for pandemic EBT. They did have an application open last year when they first brought this program out for people who didn't apply or didn't have that application on file with their child's school, so they had to go in and apply. But since then, they have not opened that application back up. They're relying solely on the information from the children's school to let them know which children do qualify for that, okay? So it's not something that you can apply for as of now. I have another one that says, Tay, how true is it that the fourth stimulus is coming in June, or is that just lies? So I haven't heard anything about stimulus coming in June. I know that a lot of people have been referring to the child tax credit payments that are supposed to start in July, specifically July 15th, as the fourth stimulus, but it's not a stimulus payment. Let me explain something to you guys. Anything that the government is giving out to the states to disperse to their local municipalities or funding agencies like Health and Human Services, any of those departments that will put funding out into the state, whether it's given directly to the people or whether it's just used to fund specific programs, they call that a stimulus package because it's stimulating the economy, but it's not a stimulus check the way that we received the first three stimulus checks. So a lot of people are using that, including myself. I've used that fourth stimulus check or whatever, fourth stimulus update. But when I use it, I'm talking about the package as a whole, not necessarily that there's going to be a fourth stimulus check. But a lot of people are calling the fourth stimulus check the child tax credits that's supposed to start in July. I hope that makes sense because I tend to ramble on and say a whole bunch. Somebody asked me about California pandemic EBT. We are approved for California pandemic EBT. I know that they're supposed to be doing 2 disbursements for this school year. They're going to do one starting next month in June. It's going to be from October, November, December, October, November, December, and January. And then we're going to receive the remaining months, which will be February through May in October of this year. So we're only going to get 2 disbursements. I did see someone put in the comments, a couple of people put in the comments that California said that they're going to start paying out somewhere around June 21st, all the way up until the end of July 31st for pandemic EBT. So you just have to be checking your mailboxes around that time. The cards are going to come in the name of the child. It's not going to come in your name, okay? Try to see if there was anything else. I don't really see any more. There was quite a few questions, but then they leave by the time I get to them. That's pretty much it, you guys. There is no fourth stimulus as far as I know. Let me check on pandemic EBT. You guys, let me know how you felt about that video that I posted yesterday. I'm not going to lie, I was really hesitant about doing that because I know with the way things are going right now, a lot of people who would normally come on YouTube to watch people in their families and just watch everyday life are not really doing that as much as they were before the pandemic. They're coming on here looking for specific information that's going to help them in their circumstances. And I understand that. So, you know, I don't want to just all of a sudden change up the direction of my channel when I know that there's a lot of you guys I really do appreciate and really do look forward to this information that I provide on my channel. So let me know if that was okay, because it's not, I mean, it was an attempt for me to include my children because they've been bugging me about it, and they really, really, really want to get on here. And I'm thinking about actually just doing a whole nother channel with them. You know, I spoke about this before in another video, but I really love the fact that my children are what I consider to be culturally diverse. My children are Afro-Cuban. They have Hispanic lineage, and I really, really do honor that, and love preserving anything that has to do with culture. And so I wanted to do a channel talking about that. I've learned how to cook certain foods, you know what I mean, that are relevant to, you know, that side of their family or whatever, because that's what they enjoy eating. So spaghetti is not one of them, by the way, before somebody says something. But let me see here. Let's check on emergency SNAP for the month of May and see if there are any other states that have been approved for the month of June. What is this? Here we go. Okay, so for the month of June, it looks like just one state. Still just Kansas. Nothing has changed there. Emergency SNAP for the month of May. It looks like every state pretty much is approved. Now for pandemic EBT, I don't think a whole lot has changed. I did mention that in the video that I posted yesterday as well, but let me just check and see. Yeah, nothing has changed there. So the last time that this site was updated, one of the ones that I used was May 16th, and it's still on May 16th. So nothing has changed there. All right, you guys, I hope this information was in some way helpful or useful. One thing I did want to say, I encourage a healthy debate. You know, I love getting together with people and communicating and having the opportunity to express my opinion, and you guys do that as well. I know that there was a lot of you that were in agreement with me when I spoke about how they were doing these housing programs for homeless and for immigrants and things of that nature. And there was a lot of you who were saying they need to take care of home first. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't think that there's a lot of things that they need to take care of in-house first, but just using myself as an example, I'm not hurting for housing. So as much as I would like to probably benefit from a program that I've been waiting on for 13 years, you know, I'm already in the process when things finally work out the way I want them to hopefully start looking at buying a house eventually. So by the time they get things ready, you know, but the point I'm trying to make is that by the time they get things ready or are even looking into reopening that program and restructuring it or whatever it is, I'll probably would have moved on to the next phase of my life. And right now, currently, I'm not in any trouble, or I'm not in a situation right now that puts me and my family in a position to be potentially homeless. So in this situation, I would prefer for them to help someone that doesn't already have a place to stay, if that makes sense. But on that note, you guys, I'm going to say, remember to live, love, and elevate. I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Peace, people.